everyone, welcome back to Lilac Oaks Farm. I am Renee, and this week on our farm adventure, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, hatching season. And it's duck hatching season, not rabbit, it is duck hatching season to be exact. Some of you might be lucky and have duck eggs, where some of us are not that lucky and my hens don't want to lay. They like to give me 1 egg a day. For those that are lucky, I hope you already start in your incubators. And if you want to learn about a few little things that I know, I'm going to share what I know about hatching duck eggs. And if you're new, stick around. There's lots to learn about how to hatch these duck eggs, because duck eggs, their fertility is 80% to 92%, so they're a little harder to get to hatch all 12. If you're lucky, you might get 8. Without further ado, let's go dive in on how to hatch duck eggs. There are 2 ways to hatch any type of egg, whether it's duck or chicken. You need a broody mama, or you need a lovely incubator. With a broody mama, you just need to make sure that she's actually really broody and going to sit for 28 days. Duck eggs take 28 days. Goose can take up to 35. Muscovy takes about 30 to 33. She doesn't need to raise the duckling after if you don't want. Some aren't good like that, but we want the ones that are just going to sit on that nest at this moment, that what we're talking about for 28 days. We don't have to worry about it with the magic machine over here. So there's the 2. Now let's go visit a bossy hen. A bossy hen. Hey, I got some of those. I got lots of bossy hens. But let's go further in depth on the broody hen. Hi, so now our broody hen, which is natural hatching. Sadly, I don't have any broody hens right now. We'd be down at the barn filming them just sitting in the nesting box doing nothing, but just sitting there. You could take them out and they go right back in. And I have lost some hens to actually dying because they didn't eat, even though I kept taking them out, trying to get them food, trying to get them water, trying to break them, even took them somewhere else separate. There's no nesting boxes in. I have cages they can go in and hang out, and it didn't break her. She just died. So that does happen. There's supposedly a way to break them of it. I haven't researched into that yet because that was the only one I've had to do it. But I'm just letting you know that it can happen. But what I like to call about the natural hatching is called a set it and forget it. Yeah, it's like the Ronco, chicken rotisserie machine. Because that's kind of what it is. You make sure that the broody hen and the future ducklings or chicks, whatever, are in a safe, secluded spot. No other duck or hen or drake even, or rooster is near them, so they'll be safe, so they can hatch and not be bothered. That is the biggest part with them. That's it. You make sure she's got food, water, and everything she needs, and she's secluded and dark. And that's it. They're set it and forget it. That is all to natural hatching, which is like the best way so you don't have to waste your electricity. But now we're going to my favorite thing to do, which I'm not the only nut job that loves this time of year. It is getting out our trusty, stupid expensive incubator. It is now up to $190 for this thing right here on Amazon. I got this at Tractor Supply 3 years ago, and it was like 100 and maybe 30, I think it was. Hello? What the heck's the problem? I mean, it only holds 21 eggs. That's all it holds. And I can't even use it for duck eggs because half of my duck eggs won't fit and they won't roll very well. So you want to make sure you get an incubator. If you do not have time to manually turn them, you want to make sure you have an incubator that your duck eggs, because there's turkey eggs, there's goose eggs, and they're even bigger. So they just keep getting bigger. There's emu too. Those are kind of big. So that your incubator can handle those size eggs. And then on that note, when you got to manually turn these, because some of these eggs don't fit in these automatic turners, you want to make sure you mark the sides so you know where you were when you last turned. You can mark 2 or you can mark all 3. I've done all 3, like A, B, C, D, just so I know what they're at when I'm rotating them. Because as they actually start getting a baby in there, a baby duckling, they're going to actually move on you because they do roll the egg themselves as they're moving around in there. You want to get your eggs from a reliable source, whether it's eBay or your own backyard or somebody down the road. You want to make sure they are clean. Now, the fertility for duck eggs are anywhere from 80% to 92%, depending on the breed. Make sure to set them, if they're shipped, you're going to want to leave them right side up for at least 24 hours before you pop them here in the incubator, because that will help just the yolk and all the white just to rest and relax. But if the egg are shipped, the fertility does go down, so just letting you know about that too. And now, the most important thing about incubating is temperature and humidity. From day 1 through 25, you want 55% humidity in this incubator. From day 26 to day 28, you want 65% to 70% humidity, because we're getting ready to hatch, so you need to get that increased. From when the duck egg pips externally, which is when you see a little crack that they've punctured from the inside out, that is when the external pipped. That's when you can up it to 80%. Now, here's the problem I have with that. Not every egg in here is going to be ready to hatch when that one has pipped. You can have some ducks that hatch out at 27 days. You can have some that hatch out at, which I've had, 32. And here is a tip I forgot to tell you. A thermometer that reads the humidity that is not a part of the incubator machine. What I found on my own was that these don't actually do the accurate temp. I found them to be either too cold or way too hot. So I ended up getting extra thermometers. You can get some that have a long little string with the long cord with a probe, and you can use that. And that helps you, actually, that will give you a better gauge on what's actually going on in here than the temperature gauge on these machines. Because I found that the styrofoam sometimes are too hot and then in the middle, but they're too cold on the outside. And then I found with this one's actually way off. It's, when I have it set at 99.5, it's like 97. So this is like 2 degrees off. So just something to think about. You can get some of these right on Amazon and test it out for yourself, because maybe that's what's been going on with the incubator and you didn't even know, because that's what's happened to me. Just a little tip. Some of you might not know what pipping is. Pipping is when the duckling or chick breaks the inner air sac. That's what's called pipping. There's two, internal and external. Internal is when they obviously break the air sac inside, and then the external is when they break the eggshell outside to get fresh air. So what happens is sometimes your duckling or chick, or it doesn't matter, will pip in the wrong spot. You want them to pip at the fat spot. They might pip at the skinny spot. If they pip at the small end, just know that it's 24 hours until they would actually pip to the external pip anyway. And then it's another 24 hours till they actually maybe make a zipper. In the meantime, that's 48 hours, it's 2 days of them absorbing that egg yolk. If they have pipped that way, don't be afraid after 2 days, say nothing's going on, you want to check, break the shell a little bit and see. If their membrane is still bleeding, don't touch it, just let them be, wipe it up a little bit, keep it moist if you've ripped too much off. They're not ready to come out yet. You just need to keep an eye on them. I usually do by 2.5. If they can't really pip well, they can't break the shell because there's no place to move here, I need to go in and break them out. I've done that. Don't be afraid to do that. Just try to be patient with it and don't go too early. I've done that too. Another tip is something that I read about quite a few years ago, was about spraying some nice about 100 degrees Fahrenheit water on the duck eggs. Now, I read that you can take the duck eggs out and let them sit out for like 10-15 minutes, let them get cooled down a little bit, spray them with the water, and then put them back in. I've tried that. I don't think it really worked well. I think I ended up losing more. But What I did find that if I actually just sprayed them with the 100-degree water while they're in the incubator, it worked out pretty well. And I know they're getting that extra bit of moisture because it's supposed to mimic the mama coming in after she has taken her bath. So, and she's kind of cold and wet. So, and that's what it's trying to emulate. And also, obviously, she's cold and wet, and then you put heat because she's hot. You know, she's going to get heat going. Then it's just raised the humidity up to quite a bit. You can get this spray bottle like for $1 at Dollar General. I have actually tons of links down below. Story's Guide to Raising Ducks, which is really good, has a lot of info about how to use the water for the hatching of duck eggs. So be patient and enjoy hatching your duck eggs. Thank you for watching.